Welcome to Day Music, and we will be talking about Aerosmith. Aerosmith is an American rock band formed in Boston in 1970. The group consists of Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, Joey Kramer, and Brett Whitford. They released a string of multi-platinum albums, starting with their eponymous debut in 1973. By the end of the decade, they were among the most popular hard rock bands in the world. Aerosmith is the best-selling American hard rock band of all time. They have sold more than 150 million records worldwide, including over 85 million records in the United States. With 25 gold, 18 platinum and 12 multi-platinum albums, they hold the record for the most total certifications by an American group. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. Aerosmith played their first gig in Mendon, Massachusetts on November 6, 1970. Other than a period from July 1979 to April 1984, the lineup of Tyler, Perry, Hamilton, Kramer and Whitford has stayed the same. Aerosmith signed with Columbia in mid-1972 for a reported $125,000. Toys in the Attic is the band's best-selling studio album in the United States. With certified as sales of 9 million copies in 1976, Aerosmith's fourth album was Rocks, which went platinum swiftly and featured two top 40 hits, Last Child and Back in the Saddle, as well as the ballad Home Tonight, which also charted. Draw the Line was released in 1977 and went on to sell 2 million copies, but was affected. Aerosmith appeared in the SCSCT, Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie. Their cover of the Beatles' Come Together was the band's last top 40 hit for nearly 10 years. The band's drug use began taking its toll, and tensions were slowly coming to a head. Aerosmith reunited in 1984 for the first time in 5 years. In 1985, the band released the album Done with Mirrors, their first studio album since reuniting in 1986. Aerosmith appeared on Run. Let's cover of Walk This Way, becoming the band's best-selling album in over a decade, selling 5 million copies in the US. All three of its singles reached the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. A track blending rock and roll with hip-hop, Permanent Vacation, was released in August 1987. Punk, released in September 1989, featured 3 top 10 singles: Love in an Elevator, Janie's Got a Gun, and What It Takes. The first singles were the hard-rocking Living on the Edge and Eat the Rich. The music videos for the album's singles were featured on the release. Things That Go Pump in the Night. As well as the top 30, The Other Side Pump was the band's first album to debut at number 1, which quickly went platinum. In support of Pump, the band embarked on the 12-month Pump tour, which lasted for most of 1990. The band won 2 Grammy Awards for songs from this album, in the category of Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. The management and record company brought in a variety of professional songwriting collaborators to help give nearly all the songs on the album more commercial appeal. For Living on the Edge in 1994 and Crazy in 1995, during the making of Get a Grip. This led to accusations of selling out that would continue throughout the 1990s. In 1998, the band released the single I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, the love theme. The song became Aerosmith's first and only number 1 single when it debuted at the top position on the Billboard Hot charts for 4 weeks. Written by Diane Warren for the 1998 film Armageddon 1998, also saw the release of the double live album, A Little South of Sanity, which was assembled from performances on the Get a Grip. Aerosmith released a 2-disc career-spanning compilation, Yeah! Ultimate Aerosmith Hits, which featured the new single Girls of Summer and embarked on the Girls of Summer tour with Kid Rock and Run. Opening, the band covered the theme from Spider-Man for the soundtrack of the 2002 film of the same name on June 27. The band performed at the official FIFA World Cup concert at Tokyo Stadium, which took on September 5, 2006. Aerosmith kicked off the Root of All Evil tour with Motley Crue in Columbus, Ohio in early 1927. The band announced a new world tour, their first for nearly a decade to include dates outside North America or Japan. The July 21st, 1927 concert in Prince Edward Island was the largest in that province's history. A public show in Maui was cancelled for logistical reasons, which spurred a class action lawsuit against the Aerosmith began work on their 15th studio album in September 2008. The band planned to begin a US tour in June 2009 in support of the as yet untitled album. The tour featured ZZ Top as the opening act for most of the tour in November 2009. Joe Perry stated that Tyler had not been in contact with the band and could be on the verge of quitting Aerosmith. Tyler pulled out of a planned South American tour at the end of 2009 and seemed intent on pursuing solo projects, including his autobiography Does the Noise in My Head Bother You? It was reported that singer Lenny Kravitz had been approached for Steven Tyler's position, which he then declined. The band performed 24 concerts in North America in late July, August and September. Many of the concerts were in locations the band cancelled on in 2009. The band performed in Colombia, Peru and Greece for the first time in their career. On this tour, Aerosmith's 15th studio album, Music from Another Dimension, was released on November 6, 2012. The album will be produced by Jack Douglas, who produced 4 albums for the band in the 1970s. Aerosmith began their fall tour of Latin America and Japan on October 22, 2011. On January 21, 2013. Aerosmith released Can't Stop Lovin' You featuring Carrie Underwood as the 4th single from Music from Another Dimension. 2013, it was announced that the band's principal songwriters Steven Tyler and Joe Perry would be recipients of the ASCAP Founders Award at the Society's 30th Annual Pop Music Awards on April 17. On February 20th, 2013, 2 days later, the duo would be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Aerosmith, embarked on the Blue Army Tour in June 2015. Steven Tyler completed work on his solo album, We're All Somebody from Somewhere, which was released on July 15, 2016. Brad Whitford rejoined Derek St. Holmes for a handful of tour dates in November 2015, and a new Whitford sent in. Holmes' album that was scheduled for wide release in 2016. Joe Perry worked with Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp on the side project Hollywood Vampires, which released that Joe Perry suffered a cardiac arrest during a show in Brooklyn, New York. He was revived and rushed to the hospital, where he was quickly upgraded to stable condition later that night. The Vampires continued the show without Perry that evening and continued the rest of their tour, but cancelled an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert after resting for a few days. Perry made a complete recovery and returned to the Hollywood Vampires tour. Joey Kramer rejoined Aerosmith in February 2020 for their Las Vegas residency in May 2023. The band announced a farewell tour called Peace Out, a farewell tour that would begin in September. Shortly after the tour began, however, it was announced that it was being delayed until the following year due to Tyler badly injuring his on August 7th, 2024. The tour was cancelled and the band announced their immediate retirement from touring due to Tyler being unable to recover from his vocal cord injury. The tour was rescheduled to begin in September 2024 and proceed through February 2025. Perry has stated that he does not rule out new music from Aerosmith. Aerosmith were among the most popular hard rock acts in America in the mid to late 1970s. The members of Aerosmith were prone to excess and debauchery. The band enjoyed tremendous popularity in the United States and in Japan, though they failed to make a big impression in Britain. Their massive popularity waned following Perry and Whitford's departures. Aerosmith is the 9th most successful artist and the 3rd most successful group of all time at the MTV Video Music Awards. Aerosmith is second only to U2 in a number of awards won in that category, In the fields of technology and video games, Aerosmith has achieved several feats. Aerosmith have sold more than 150 million albums worldwide and 700 million in the United States. Aerosmith were honored as Music as Person of the Year in 2020 and 1978. The band starred as the future villain band in the film, Shashti Tepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.